All right, good evening, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 19th. It's the monthly meeting for the school building committee. First item on the agenda would be the town meeting recap. Jeff, I don't know if you're going to do that or what the thought process on that was.
It was just a chance to celebrate, Rich. You guys worked super
Okay.
hard. Congratulations is what's in order. So to get it through town meeting was an important first step and a true testament of the all the hard work that's been done here. We had a great turnout at town meeting, so that was congratulations to everybody involved. It was a great turnout. And I don't think there's any. I got from the town clerk the certified vote, and that's been sent over to the MSBA, so that box has been checked, which is great news. The second bullet on the agenda was the ballot initiative and then any other additional community outreach. And so that's really a question back to this committee. So the ballot's set for the 8th. Vertex has updated the website as of today. We've listed all the dates available for the early voting. We've changed the website to reflect that the town meeting passed, but there's still a ballot initiative and both votes are required. So the website is up to date. The question back to the committee, is there anything you need from the consultants as far as outreach or information between now and the ballot?
I think unless the only thing I would say is that the PAC has been doing some stuff. Whether they need anything or not, I'm not sure. But as of right now, we don't have anything specifically scheduled that we would need anything for at this time.
Yeah, they've got sign holding going at the dump and outside of town hall and transfer station, I'm sorry. And they'll also send out a mailing. Actually, I believe they're meeting right now to finish up the mailing piece.
That's great. Yeah, I think that mail will be very critical to remind everybody to get the vote out. So that's awesome.
Yeah, this was their last meeting on it. I think it goes out shortly.
Okay. All right. Next update was the
MSBA. Before we leave that,
Yep.
can I ask the committee? We did send out a mailer to everybody in town, right?
Yes.
Which, let's say that's one of the steps towards success. My question for this group is whether or not we think we should send up a follow-up or another one, because, we've done step one. We don't want to just sit around and hope that that's just going to carry forward. The question really is from point of view of the school building committee, not the PAC,
right?
But school building committee. Is there any other thing that we should try to do to inform the public about this vote? And I'm not trying to take a step back from the town meeting because it was pretty successful for sure. And, looking at the people in the room, they weren't all, at least in the cafeteria, in the gym where I was, gym of the gym, it was not all parents. There was a cross section of population. We had almost 700 people. So question is, how do we avoid being complacent? I guess that's the question I want to ask.
Yeah, I think the PAC is like they're going to do a mailing that's equal to what we had put out. I haven't seen the draft of it yet, but I know Ellen's been working with them on that, and I think they're going to be, whatever they send out is going to be equal to what we had done in the first place. The question is there any other outreach that we could do, in the short time in between? And that's a good question. Nothing jumps into mind that, we would have as a place that we could go, unless, if somebody has any suggestions, and always all ears. Diane, did you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Bob mentioned an article in the Milford Daily News. I've been working with a reporter for about a week, getting her up to speed. So there's something, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I just shared it with the whole group.
Oh, okay, great. There will also be a follow-up on the Medway Millis paper on December 1st. Again, I've been working with the editor there and giving her information. So they're going to give us another bunch of feedback. As for mailers for the ballot, I think that Jeff and I and Rich worked really hard to get the one out that we did. The campaign finance group did not want us doing anything around the election.
So we couldn't, the wording, if you, so the ballot, the mailer we put out didn't give the date of the ballot, because if it did, it severely limits anything you can say about it. So by removing the ballot from the initial mailer, had more freedom to actually put facts about the project.
Okay,
According to the campaign finance people, if we put out a mailer for the ballot, it has to be just that, like where and when to vote, and really nothing else. So it's not very powerful.
right.
I think you're going to get more mileage out of the PAC one. I do think that there are limited things Bob can do, meaning with his listserv, he can send a reminder that the town meeting will be on, Monday the 8th, but not get out and vote yes or any of that kind of stuff. So he can send a reminder to the constituents to say, the vote occurs on Monday, right? And, not really advocating, but, restating the obvious.
Yeah, I can do that easily with what we have. I can send out texts, I can send out emails.
Yeah, just can't.
Just
gotta stay-
a town election on the school project,
Right, that's it.
December.
Yep.
Early voting, can you mention that? Early voting started the 24th. I think
Yeah.
that would be legitimate. That's just
Yeah.
more voting.
You
I
could put
sent-
that in, your upcoming one, Bob, right? That early voting
Yeah.
starts on the 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, I already have one out that has a link to the town website that has the hours for the early voting, because it's not the same every day.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Right.
Well,
I
the
think
town also has a listserv. Can we use that one? Can they send out a reminder?
We could
Uh,
ask Mike.
Yeah, I'll ask Mike right now. I'll shoot him an email.
Because this is, low hanging fruit. I'm not trying to be alarmist here, but I just don't want to leave any
No,
stone
no.
unturned. We're so far along.
amen.
The SBC can't do that, I don't think, Jim.
Well, the town can do it. We can ask them to do it.
I'm going to ask Mike right now. I mean, if he says we can do it, I'll have him push something with the voting dates.
Okay.
Let's start. Yes.
It's been there, but it's
We-
been on the website, certainly. Why
Right.
can't listserv as well?
Yeah, I'll ask. And I'll ask him to do it if it's possible. Yeah.
That's the only thing on the ballot, right? Is there nothing else on the
It
ballot?
is.
That's it.
The article in the Milford Daily News and the Medway Millis paper both have dates for early voting and the election. Bless you, Rich.
Thank you.
I mean, the only thing with the town's listserv is I don't know who's on it, how robust it is, and whether you stir up the other side versus the friendly.
Yeah, that was my other thought as I was halfway through this email I was typing. I'm wondering who's on that list.
Well,
But
Probably tell you, right?
I'm sorry.
They can probably tell you who's on it.
Well, yes, but I'm trying to avoid politics. Yeah.
There's no politics in this? It's just information.
I think,
I'm actually in town tomorrow, so I'll just go down and talk.
I think we also need to let the PAC do their thing. They worked their magic, and look at the turnout we had at town meeting.
Yeah, they're really serious about sign holding this
There are
time around
signs
for sure.
everywhere.
And
Yeah.
and they just put up another 50 or 60 yard signs. So
Yeah.
there's probably close to 300 yard signs out right now.
You drive around town, you can see them
And-
almost
And
everywhere.
there's people
Every
there's
edge.
people at the dump, at the town hall. They're taking the weekend. They're actually not taking Thanksgiving weekend off at the dump, because what I experience, it's a very busy time down there then. So,
Yeah,
so
can I-
they-
I'm saying we're
Can I
getting
just
in their
offer,
way. That all the work was terrific. I mean, clearly they had a terrific turnout. 700 people. There's going to be
Yeah.
at least 600 or 700 more people
right.
who weren't at the town meeting, or even more. I don't remember. We had well over 1,200 votes for the Tri-County. So we got to get to those people too. So that's
Yeah.
all.
We'll
So to
continue working.
Jim's point, and I just want to, like, these things are, you never know, but we just had the ballot election for Burlington High School, which is not MSBA funded, passed town meeting by more than 2/3, and then it failed on Saturday, and by like almost a 2-to-1 margin. But one of our analysis from that recent experience is that the parents or the yes voters just didn't show up, and the PAC thought they had good traction. Everybody thought they had good traction. And so hearing that there's yes signs everywhere and there's all this stuff makes me actually nervous that people will be like, it's going to pass with no problem. I'm not going to go vote. And so
I-
that's one of the problems we think happened in Burlington. And if you can just make sure people know a sign in your yard does not count as a vote. So
Right, and we had
mean,
the
I think
experience of something, of the override passing in the spring of 24, and we lost the ballot by 8 votes, so I think a lot
Yeah,
of.
that's a lesson that this PAC group has learned and most of the parents have learned. And we got emails from people asking us to revote it because I got 5 people wanted to come down and vote, but they had a celebratory party. They sat around the island, and when they got done with cocktails at the island in the kitchen, the polls were closed. So that's 5 votes that didn't show up. So we that took it for granted, just like you're saying, Chris. But we think that this is going to be, I think the lesson was learned, and this PAC is really pushing that you've done nothing. I mean, if it didn't pass with 90% at town meeting, it would have shocked me, and I wasn't surprised at all by the majority it had, and that means nothing. It just now has to go. It has to get to the ballot, and that's where people have to understand complacency can't set in.
All right, Jeff, what's the next item?
The MSB updates. So as I alluded to, I sent over the certified town meeting vote. That's in their hand. They're asking for a cash flow, which I'll provide to both the town and the MSBA. Next step is after a ballot vote, they'll send out a project funding agreement, and that'll get circulated for the select board to approve and sign. And we're holding until, the kickoff of design development, so there's no other MSBA updates at this point. So the new business that I want to talk about tonight is, there's an opportunity to move forward at risk, with procuring a construction manager. And what I mean by that is that, attempting to get that started before your ballot vote. And one of the reasons and rationales to do that is because you want to get them on board before your design development set comes out in March, and also have them have proposals back before the holiday break. So I included a timeline um, in the email to everybody, which I'll throw up on the screen, and then we'll talk about what's involved in that. So if everyone can see that now, so this is the CM selection committee, CM selection timeline, and so it's a 3-step process. The first step is to submit an application to the Inspector General, which Vertex has already done. We've run out of fee at this point, so that's why I say we're doing this at risk, essentially, that we're putting in hours, that are not part of this phase of the contract, but it's for the good of the process to get this up and running. The ballot vote is on December 8th, but if we wait until after that, then that hits the December break, and then we kind of push into January. It just kind of delays the whole thing 2 or 3 weeks. So the proposal in front of the committee is whether you want us to move forward with the construction manager at risk procurement process, which would include advertising for the pre-qual on December 3rd, meaning we'll run the ad in the local paper and the Central Register. People will collect the proposal. We would have a walkthrough the following week after the town meeting, or after the ballot rather. And if it for some reason didn't pass, you just, you cancel the procurement. There's no loss there in terms of that aspect of it. But by getting a jump on it, you're able to give them almost 3 weeks to turn around a proposal and get that back before the holiday break. The pre-qualification committee, which we'll talk about in a minute, would then have it over the holiday break and get together the first week of January to review the 7 plus or minus proposals we get, and come up with a short list of 3 to 4 firms that you want to go out for a second phase. And so the first phase is the IG, which is the Inspector General has to give us permission to use this. Second phase is this RFQ stage, which is your firm qualified? And stage 3 is the RFP, so it's a request for proposal. It actually breaks down all the hours and the costs that they would set aside to bring their staff on the project, their fees, their contingencies, their insurance rates. That's all part of that proposal. We would receive that around February 4th. We'd then take a week or 2 to look at all that, send them questions for an interview, hold that interview the week after February break, and then rank the proposals by the end of that week, whichever night we do interviews. And then we would have them on board by the end of the first week or beginning of second week of March, which lines up with the pricing set package. So coincides with that. So we're recommending, if you want to proceed, at risk, releasing Vertex to start drafting the proposal. Be minimal hours for us, but I do need you guys to authorize that. We'll get that advertised, we'll get that all set up and running, and we'll be off to the races if you guys choose to do that.
Well, in my mind, this is a no-brainer. We need to go from the end date where there's the beginning of the design phase and work backwards from there. So, I mean, in my mind, that's the way we should proceed.
I don't see this as any risk to us. I mean,
Yeah.
Vertex is in good faith offering this service, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to move forward as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, I think we've got a quorum, so go ahead.
All right, related to that, in your packet, I'd asked to utilize Project Dog, which is a third-party web hosting
That was
service.
the most exciting part of your email, by the way. Project Dog.
Project Dog, yeah.
I can't even turn on Zoom. But okay, fine.
Project Dog. So for $655, if you want to authorize that tonight, we'll go ahead and get them signed up. We could use it twice on the cycle. I like to use it for the first one because then it's all publicly advertised. It's run clean. When we do the RFP stage and there's only 3 firms, we can just have all the proposals sent directly to Vertex. But for the first stage, I like to do it publicly and have that up on an official website.
That's fine. That makes sense too.
All right. So if you guys are good with that, I'll take that as your authorization to submit that as a reimbursable. All right, so the next business related to that is establishing a committee. And so we need to establish a committee, and that was in your packet as well. Hold on, sorry. Relaunch that for you.
See, I printed mine, so I can actually read it.
Here you go. So the state statute is it has to have a minimum of 4 people, and 1 has to be the OPM, 1 has to be the architect, and 2 from the client. And so beyond that, you can add as many people as you want, essentially. They'd be voting members, however many people you add. The work of the pre-qual committee is to approve each of the proposals. So you approve the RFQ. You would then evaluate the 7 to 10 proposals, whatever number we get back. Develop a short list with the whole committee. We rank them and vote to move forward the top 3 or 4. We then develop the RFP. We then review the remaining 3 proposals and fee proposals that come back, and we manage the interview process and then make a recommendation of award, which we could then bring back to the full committee for their approval. So that's kind of what's outlined in that memo. Minimum of 4 people. And everything I just said to you about establishing the criteria, developing the documents, managing the process, and holding meetings, and then ultimately making a recommendation back to the committee for approval.
So Jeff, who would be running it from your end?
So I'll be running it from my end. If you want to increase the number of voters on us, I'd add Emily to the mix as well. If you want to just keep it at 1 of each of the consultants, then it'd be myself from my firm. And then
Yeah,
Chris,
I
you
would
can
say-
comment who's on your firm.
Yeah, I would say 1. I mean, I don't think we want to make the committee too big. No disrespect against Emily, and I'm sure you would miss doing the extra work. And then Chris, who would be there from your group?
I think they're using my well, I guess I'm on the application, but it
Doesn't
probably is
matter
gonna
who's on
be-
the committee. It's whoever
Yeah.
wants to do the proposals. And at the end of the day, we can participate.
It's either it's probably Matt and Steve, but Matt can be the official person.
All right, and from us, I know Diane had expressed interest in being involved, so obviously, since if I don't say yes, she'll beat me up. And I would like to be involved also. Was there any other people from the committee that would be aching to join?
I don't feel an aching going on. I feel no aching at this time.
All right,
I mean, too many people are just going to make it more complicated.
no, and that, like I said, that's fine. I'm okay with 4. I think that would work out well. And as everybody all knows, I mean, we obviously, if there's any concerns or anything, we like to, bring it up to the group.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Something
generally fine. I mean, sometimes an odd number helps for the tiebreakers, but at the end of the day, I think by the time we get to that point, we're generally in unison, more or less. It's usually pretty evident who the winner is and the second place firm is. So I'm not
Okay.
really worried about that either, per se.
Jeff,
All right, so
for the construction manager, is that who the principals be working with kind of day in and day out? Would that be the person? So
Yeah, so
when it
the
got,
firm, yep. So the construction management will submit a team, Pat, and so they'll say this is going to be my super, my project manager, the project executive, our estimators, our schedulers, like the whole 9 yards. You'll see their whole team. And ultimately, yeah, you'd be coordinating with them. I'll have boots on the ground. So we'll have a dedicated person that'll be your eyes and ears too. And so you'll be coordinating with my person more so than the CM, but the CM would definitely be, hand-holding both principals all the way through.
yeah, I was just wondering if when it gets down to 3, if we could at least sit in, not that we need to be the voting piece of it, but if we could at least one of us could sit in on it.
yeah, that's fine.
If you guys
Yeah.
would be okay with that.
Well, are you bringing the 3 to the full committee, or you're just going to have 3 and then bring the 1 for the full committee?
The one. The intent is that you're authorizing this subcommittee to manage the process and then bring a recommendation back. And so you guys could all participate in the interview process if you want an observer and commenter standpoint, but you just wouldn't have an actual vote.
I think
So
we did that when we did the Clyde Brown. I think there was, other people that sat in on the pre-qualification. So if you guys were interested in doing that, we're more than happy to have people sit in,
I think you had some of us sit in if we felt like it, even when we chose the, Vertex, et cetera.
Yes, I mean, if you want, I mean, I don't know if you could have someone from the school as a voting member on it, Rich or Bob, if you wanted to, and that, would make it 5 people. But that's up to you. I mean, that would be a good balance, but
Bob, Pat, are you guys interested in doing that?
I know you're real busy, Pat, but if like they are gonna be working with the principals, if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump on.
Okay, sounds good.
Great.
so
we'll,
then you'll just need to make a motion to do a 5-person committee with Rich, Diane, Patrick, myself, and then we said Matt, right? And Matt.
So
Okay.
moved.
So that's good, Jim. I like that. That's a lot.
Like that
That's
vote.
excellent. I second the motion. I'll do it as a voice vote. So I'll do Diane,
Yes,
Jim,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
and I'm a yes also. All right, and also, I think Bob.
non-voting member?
No,
No,
you're
no,
not a voting
hold on.
member of that. No.
Hold on, sorry. So we're good.
I would vote yes if I were.
There you go.
okay.
Supportive vote.
All right.
All right, so next was just schedule update. That was just kind of a catch-all to see what else was out there. Really had to do more with this timeline, the fact that we're just accelerating, moving forward into the next phase.
Can I ask a question? Just a
Yep.
general question. At this point in time, what do we think is the level of interest we're going to find? I mean, I know we've been talking about this for 2 years, but I mean, what's the sort of general marketplace for contract?
They're looking for work. I can tell you right now, everybody's looking for work.
Everybody I know is asking about this. It's there's going to be a lot of interest.
So the sooner we get it out, the better.
Yeah, I think I'll call it the greenfield projects are more desirable. Like, so if you're doing a clean build, you'll get more participation. So those are the ones you may get, 10 or 12. With an ad reno, I think probably 7 is the number if I was going to peg a specific number, but it could be anywhere from 6 to 10 that we'll get back in terms of proposals.
Good. Okay.
Jeff, how many does MSBA have on their list of certified CMs?
They don't track a certified list of CMs. The CMs is all local decision. I mean, everyone that will submit will be on the DCAM's list. The DCAM includes everybody from the $1 million contractor to the $1 billion contractor. So, in this wheelhouse, I think the number's probably 7 or 8 that we're going to get back, but as Al alluded to, they're really hungry. I've talked to 5 CMs that are all interested in this and already all planning on coming to the walkthrough. So I think there'll be a lot of interest for this project, for sure.
Good, thank you.
All right. So you went through that schedule update was included in that previous one?
Yeah, and then at our next meeting in December, TAP A and Vertex will work on a work plan. For the first, for the design development phase, for the next 4 months from that point forward. So at that December meeting, we'll kind of have the road ahead for everybody. And then the next 3 agenda items were yours.
Yeah. All right, so in the first one, we had, where, one of the PBC members, has had some conflicts, because of, they have a teaching schedule, so John McDonough. And, so not that we're right now asking him to leave, but we may be considering, the fact that he just won't be able to attend because we won't be able to change the meeting nights because select board's on Monday, planning board's on Tuesday, and the Wednesday seemed to be the best day for the meeting. So in December, we're going to possibly continue the conversation, and we may have to get a new member on board for to fill his place. So that's just something that we wanted to kind of just throw out there.
And I'm sorry, it's also, Shalene Volpe's gonna be appointed at Monday's select board meeting, I think. As
Okay.
school finance officer. So does she go to that meeting, Craig?
It's totally optional. Sometimes people come, introduce themselves, say a few words. Sometimes we move quickly and they just, that's it. We appoint and they're done. There's no reason she has to be there. It's totally up to her.
Okay, it's a busy week next week, so.
Police will bring their entire family and the entire force. Will fill the room, but
That they do.
yes,
And the fire department's about the same.
yes.
All right.
One other thing I forgot to mention about the CM. So Vertex will work with town council on developing a construction management agreement for them. So we have our own forms that we like using. I've been chatting with town council. I'm going to send her a couple for her to consider, and we'll have that worked out with the town council to have a project specific contract.
Okay, and that, as usual, that would have retainage and all that fun stuff in it included, right? So,
Absolutely.
okay. All right, well, next we're gonna move on to invoices. So, and I actually printed them, so I'm not sure how you had them, but I make a motion that we approve the invoice for the month of let's see here, October, for the Vertex companies for the amount of $2,316.50.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passed unanimously. Next, let's see, next item is, and this one, hold on, my page is sticking together. I make a motion that we approve the invoice for Tappy Architects for work in the month of October to the amount of $1,880.14.
The second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed unanimously. Last item on the agenda would be approval of the meeting minutes. So I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes as written for the month of October.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Good. Well, I said that was a very fruitful meeting. And like to follow up with Jeff, I'm pretty excited that we made it this far, and hopefully, like Jim said, I think we have to put our nose to the grindstone and keep pushing towards the end, and hopefully it'll pass.
All right.
So, all right, well, with that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, all right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Aye.